Well, I for one am pretty darn happy to see Hugh Jackman back in the role as Wolverine, and the fact that he's going to be in the Deadpool movie makes it even better. But do you know the real reason why he came back and what inspired him to do it? Well, Hugh Jackman has revealed those details, so I thought we could take a couple minutes to dive into what Hugh said and what part of this role made him want to really come back. Well, I think it's pretty fair to say that Ryan Reynolds at Marvel Studios absolutely shocked the world when it was revealed that Hugh Jackman would be returning as Wolverine in Deadpool 3. This movie was already going to be big because it was Deadpool's premiere inside the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but adding the shock value of a Wolverine is really big news. And you have to ask the question, how did this really happen? And now the team over at Variety has given us a bit of a peek. Now recently, both Jackman and Reynolds sat down with the trade and did a little bit of talking about the upcoming Deadpool 3 and the biggest crossover in the MCU, well, ever. Now in the interview, we found out this had been brewing a really long time, going all the way back to the first Deadpool movie. And apparently the timing with Logan was the big deal and sort of derailed any previous attempts. In the interview with Variety, Jackman actually said, "I went to a screening of Deadpool. I was 20 minutes in and I was like, oh, damn it. All I kept seeing in my head was 48 Hours with Nick Nolte and Eddie Murphy. So it's been brewing for a long time. It just took me longer to get there." Now, if you remember back to when this was going on, this was right when Logan was being released. And the promotional push for that whole film really marketed it as an event film, seeing the actor's final time playing the character. He is at the top of the list of a lot of fan favorite castings for any superhero character, and people really loved him as Wolverine. The film ended with a grand death scene and seemed to close the book on the character, so it would have been really tough for them to do anything else. Jackman even pointed out it would be impossible for them to go, "Just kidding, more Wolverine coming," and would have totally undercut the film. Now, this didn't happen very easily, and Jackman and Reynolds each kept the torch burning for the possibility of this crossover. Reynolds kept pushing the idea to both Jackman and Marvel Studios following the Disney-Fox merger, which took place starting in 2017 and wrapped up in 2019. But it wasn't until August of 2022 before Jackman finally changed his mind and decided once again to take up the role of Wolverine. Fortunately, the timing worked out perfectly, and Jackman decided he was ready to return as Wolverine and made the call to Ryan Reynolds just as he was about to go in for an official Deadpool 3 meeting with Kevin Feige, which apparently was a huge surprise to Ryan Reynolds. Jackman actually said, "I think actually he'd given up. I think it was a big shock to him. There was a massive pause, and then he said, I can't believe the timing of this." So, that's really the full story. Jackman had decided to hang up the claws, even though since day one, he wanted really to team up with Deadpool. Given the timing of Logan and how much he respected the character, I totally understand why. We are very fortunate that the timing worked out as it did. I think both parties were probably aware of what was going on in each other's careers, so the timing of each actor's actions probably helped motivate the other, but I'll take what I can get. I do find something pretty funny here, because Jackman mentioned 48 Hours. If you remember that movie from the 1980s, it featured Nick Nolte, a cop, teaming up with Eddie Murphy, a con given a 48-hour pass to help Nolte solve a murder. Now, throughout the movie, they beat the absolute crap out of each other, and it's one of my favorite 80s movies ever. This is exactly the formula I always wanted to see with Deadpool and the Punisher, but quite honestly, an ultra-violent Deadpool-Wolverine buddy cop movie, where they're constantly maiming, stabbing, or just otherwise hurting each other, will make for a ton of comedy, and I think it's going to be something really special for Marvel fans. Now we have a huge time before Deadpool 3 finally drops in theaters. The sequel is currently scheduled for November the 8th, 2024. But given how Marvel has shifted a little bit of the release schedules around the last couple of months, I wouldn't be totally surprised if that gets moved once again. This is going to be a massive big deal in the Marvel Universe. It'll be their first rated R movie, and to finally have these two team up in the pinnacle versions of their characters is going to be special. I can't wait. Now obviously we're covering Deadpool 3, or whatever they're going to call it, really closely, so make sure you hit that like and subscribe button to get all of your regenerative updates. But until we know more, what do you guys think? Do you find the timing between the two actors a little suspect in order to make Deadpool 3 happen? And how do you feel about this potentially being a sort of buddy cop movie, very much in the vein of 48 Hours? Tell me what you think in the comments below. If you like this video, make sure you hit like, click subscribe, and if you don't ring that bell, you're not getting any updates. Peace.